All right, today we're jumping into lesson 8.2, which is going to all be focusing on comparing and rounding decimals. Our two goals are to compare and order decimals to 3 decimal places, which means we'll be working with decimals up into the thousandth place. And we are going to be looking at rounding decimals to the nearest hundredth. So we're going to start by talking about ordering decimals. And I have 3 decimals that we're going to work with, 0 and 835 thousandths, 2 and 641 thousandths, and 0 and 329 thousandths. And it's really important that on problems like these, we're thinking about the directions and paying attention to the fact that they want us in this problem to order the decimals from least to greatest. So I always start by, on my answer space, writing an L on the left to kind of remind me that I'm putting my least decimal first, and then a G on the right. I'll make those kind of bolded so that I remember when I go to do my answer, because sometimes you forget. So the first thing that's super important when we're comparing and ordering decimals is to take the decimals and stack them vertically so that you can look at the places and compare the value going from the ones all the way over to the thousandths. So I'm going to do that to start. And this gets really important, especially as you get into some trickier decimals that have a lot of the same digits. I see a lot of people who make silly mistakes in their comparing and ordering because they skip this step. So again, I'm just stacking my decimals, and notice I have all of the ones are lined up, all of the tenths are lined up, hundredths and thousandths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in my ones place, and I'm going to look for, in my ones place, which of the numbers have either really small ones or larger ones. So I see right away that I have 0 ones, 2 ones, and 0 ones. So right off the bat, I know that this decimal right here is my greatest decimal because it has 2 ones and these both have 0. So if you think about it, think about it in terms of money. If I only had 83 cents in comparison to $2.64, this would be a lot more. And same thing with this number here. 32 cents is definitely less than $2.64. So my first decimal that I'm going to write, and I'm going to put that right in my greatest section because I know that I don't even have to do any more work to know that that's my greatest decimal. And I'm going to make my spaces for my smallest and my middle. I always like to cross it off once I use one. So now I'm just looking at my top decimal and my bottom. So I looked at my ones, they're both zeros. So I can't determine which one is greater or smaller from the ones place. So now I'm going to move into my tenths. I have 8 tenths and 3 tenths. Now, since 3 tenths is less than 8 tenths, that's telling me that this number overall, 329 thousandths, is less than 835 thousandths. I don't have to do any more work. That's proof to me right there. And if I, again, think about it in terms of money, if I only had 30 cents and up here I had 80 cents, 80 cents would be greater and closer to a whole dollar. So my 0 and 329 thousandths is going to be my least. My middle decimal is 835 thousandths. So again, my biggest tip is to make sure that you are stacking your decimals vertically on top of each other so that you can compare them, and also paying attention to whether they want it from least to greatest or greatest to least. Okay, so here's another example, and right off the bat, I'm going to look at my decimals, but I'm going to notice they want me to order those decimals from greatest to least, so they're opposite this time. So I'm going to set that up here. I have my G and my L, just to remind me that those are what I'm going to focus on in the end. And now I'm going to start stacking my decimals. And you might have noticed that these 3 decimals, they all have a different number of digits making up the number. So pay close attention, and you should be writing this in your notes. When I write these down, I'm going to do something to make it so that they all have the same number of digits. That's going to help me really compare them accurately. So my first decimal is 0 and 72 hundredths. Then I have 0 and 273 thousandths. And then I have 0 and 7/10ths. Now, I made sure to line up my ones, all my tenths, and then I noticed that I have 2 of these decimals that don't have the same number of digits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these empty places with zeros. Okay, we know that zeros at the end, the right-hand side of a decimal, do not impact the value of that decimal. So I can do that. That's going to help me compare. Okay, now I'm ready. So now I'm going to start in my ones place. All of the ones are 0, so that doesn't tell me anything about which one is greater or least. So I'm going to move into my tenths. I have a 7, a 2, and a 7. I can't say anything about these two because they both have 7 in the tenths place, but I do know that this is my least decimal right here in the middle. So I'm going to set that up. I have 0 and 273 thousandths goes towards my least spot. I'm going to cross that off again. So now I'm going to move into my hundredths. In my first decimal, I have 2 hundredths. This decimal here, I have 0 hundredths. I know that this is the greatest decimal because of that too. So I'm going to set that up. 0 and 720 thousandths, and then 0 and 700 thousandths. And you can write your answers with those zeros on the end, or you can put them back in the original form. They're the same thing, they're the same value. So that being said, I would take either answer. I would take it if you wrote your answers like this, or if you use those original decimals from the problem. Okay, the last thing we're going to take a look at in this lesson is rounding decimals. And more specifically, if you look at the directions, we're going to be rounding decimals to the nearest thousandth. So I have some steps that I always go through when I'm rounding a decimal. I'm always going to look at, I kind of make the number bigger first of all. So I'm going to write out my decimal, 0 and 14 thousandths. And again, I want to round it to the nearest hundredth. So first of all, I need to think of my rule with rounding, in which digits are going to make numbers round up and which digits are going to make numbers round down. So the numbers are the digits, and I would jot these down. Oops, I don't want that red. I'll do it in a smaller color. So the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to make a number round down. And when we talk about rounding, when I say round down, the digit is actually going to stay the same, the digit that we're looking at. Then I have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those digits, if we are seeing them in the number, are going to make that number round up. Okay, so now I'm ready to do my rounding. So I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to underline the digit in the hundredths place, which is my 1. That's going to help me focus on which digit I'm really working with. And then I always circle the digit to the right that I'm rounding. Okay, so the 4 that I circled is going to tell me what to do with this 1. So the 4 is going to determine whether or not I round that 1 up to 2 or keep it the same at 1. Okay, so, and when I'm saying 2, I really mean 2/10. And when I say round down, I really mean rounding down to 1/10. Okay, and it's rounding down still because I'm going from 14 thousandths to, oops, I didn't mean to say tenth, I meant hundredths, I'm sorry. I'm really going from 14 thousandths to 1/100th when I round down. So let's think about that. So I have the 4, that's going to impact what I do with this 1 here in my hundredths place. If I look at my numbers, 4 tells me to round down. So that means this 1 is going to stay the same, and everything to the left of the number is also going to stay the same. Okay, in this case, I just have zeros, but I'm going to keep those exactly the same. So my answer, 14 thousandths rounded to the nearest hundredth, would be 1/100th. Okay, I want to show you one final example of rounding a decimal to the thousandth, or to the nearest hundredth. So I have 2 and 166 thousandths, and I want to round it to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so to do that, I am going to focus on my hundredths place. The digit in the right, in the thousandths place, is going to help me figure out what to do with that hundredths place digit. Because it's a 6, it's going to tell me to round that digit up to, instead of 6/100ths, 7/100ths. So watch, this is going to change from a 6 to a 7. Everything to the left, so my tenths place and my ones place, stays the same. So my answer would be 2 and 17/100ths is the answer when I round this problem. Okay, now lastly, I just wanted to show you what it looks like when we're thinking about rounding a decimal to the nearest hundredth. So if I was doing the same problem that we did before, rounding 14 thousandths to the nearest hundredth, if we look at a number line, I'm starting at 1/100th. My midway point is 15 thousandths, and then I'm going also to 2/100ths. So I'm splitting up that hundredths chunk. Now, this spot right here is 14/100ths. So I'm deciding, what am I closest to? Am I closest to my 1/100th or 2/100ths by looking at the number line? And we can visibly see that 14 thousandths is closest to this side of the number line, meaning that if I rounded this, it would round to 0 and 1/100th. Now, if I had a decimal like, let's say, we'll do this one right here, which would be 0 and 17 thousandths. If I rounded this to the nearest hundredth, it's visibly closer, and I could even count 1, 2, 3. It's closer to that 2/100th, so this would round to 2/100ths. And I can also check that by doing our rounding method. Underlining the hundredths, circling the thousandth, the 7 makes that 1 jump up to a 2. So I get the same exact thing.